Good afternoon. So today is currently January 20th, 3:55 p.m. And all this so far this day, I've been getting this message in my head to just do it now, to get started, to take action, to just post a video with what you have. So I'm making this video on my MacBook. It's not the clearest quality, it's not 4K or whatever, but it's something and it's a way I'm going to spread this message. So the message that came to me was just taking action, doing it now. And I'm actually going to share from a post that I made on my Visualize Heaven on Earth Instagram. So this page is my mindset coaching page. I want to eventually be able to impact. I already make an impact on others. Just like anyone that comes into my life, they've made an impact on me. So I've learned so much within the last, I would say since 2020, because I remember in that year, I was like, 2020, God gave me 2020 vision. That's how I genuinely started feeling about my spiritual journey. And it has not been linear at all. I'm still struggling with things. Like, for example, right now, I'm wearing these gloves because I want my hands to stay moisturized. I'm currently going through a flare-up, and this is me just being vulnerable and sharing this. So I'm going through a flare-up. I've been going through this the last year in my postpartum, and it's been excruciating. But I have found ways to distract myself from it, or it's been not linear once again. So I want to share this post that I made. It's my first post from my Visualize Heaven on Earth Instagram, and it says, "When you feel inspired, it's your responsibility to act on it. It's all divine call to action." So when I wrote down the word action, I noticed something. So this is what I put. I said, when I see act on, I notice how close it is to action. And the only thing missing is the I. So in act on, the only word missing is I. So go with the flow, meet God halfway, and remember, your inspiration has purpose. The I in action represents your ideal self, stepping into your power and purpose. Every time you act on inspiration, you align with your higher version of yourself. The ideal self isn't just a future vision, it's who you are right now when you choose to act. So act as your ideal self now, purpose-driven and ready to manifest greatness. Every action brings you closer to realizing your potential. So I feel like going internal, going within, that's the most important thing. And not feeling this need for external validation. Just going within and taking that action and doing what you gotta do. And then the next post is, what would your higher self do? That's always been something that I wanted to spread awareness on. What would your higher self do? Tapping in and getting into alignment with your higher self and just, expanding from there. Be in the now, prioritize flow in your life. And so the next slide says, prioritizing flow means making a conscious effort to align your actions, environment, and mindset in a way that allows you to enter and sustain a state of deep focus, creativity, engagement, and it's about creating the conditions that help you get in the zone, where time seems to pass effortlessly and you're fully immersed in what you're doing. So getting in flow with, imagine living your whole life every day being in flow, where time is just passing and you're just I was describing it to someone as when Ratatouille was making the food, and he was just so happy and time's just passing, and he's I don't want to call it a void because it was a dark area he was in, but all that he's seen around him was the food and the flavors and all of that. So that's what flow is, prioritizing that. I want to be in flow when I'm working my job, my everyday job, and I love my new job. If I could share a little backstory behind that. So I took a risk last year because I was going through so much. I worked for Wells Fargo Home Mortgage for 5 years. And I decided to take a risk because I have a baby, as you guys know, or some of you may know. I have a son and he is 1 year old. And I decided that I'm going all over. I'm a yapper, but my job wanted us to go back into the office, and they had promised us before I even had my child or decided to have him that we could be remote. So I worked remote for 4 years, 5 years actually, and then they like wanted us to start coming back in office, and I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. So an opportunity came from a woman that I met, and fast forward, I got the job, and I took a leap because it's something new. I'm now an admissions advisor for a college, and I'm speaking with potential students, and I love speaking with them because it shows me my ability to have an impact on people just by talking to them. I enjoy speaking with them on the phone. It can be a lot at times because I come from a background of not talking on the phone, and now I do, and I'm speaking with them, and I notice people are venting, and it makes me feel like, okay, like if I could do this in this job, I know with my mindset coaching business that I'll be able to do that. And just like listening to people and being present while they're speaking, that's the number one important thing now more than ever. And I just feel like right now we're in a huge shift in this world. We're going through so many shifts. With that whole TikTok ban, I was just like, oh my gosh, the way I saw people reacting, but it's normal. It's normal. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna share today. I was considering going like on a little solo movie day and going to see that new SZA and Keke Palmer movie, and then after that just coming home, and maybe I'll go around 5:30 because I do want to get some food and just chill for a little bit. Like, my son is currently with his dad. They went to go do something for Martin Luther King's Day. I think it's like a parade or something. And then I'm just at home. Lately, I've been reevaluating a lot. Like, I'm making a lot of sacrifices right now, as in consciously trying to tell myself, there's certain things that I have to let go of. There's certain patterns that I started to get in, and I don't feel great when I get into a pattern and it's not aligned with my higher self. I don't feel good about it, and then it feels like self-sabotage. So now I'm like, you know what, we're releasing it because it's not serving me. And yeah, so we're just gonna go from there. We're gonna keep going with the flow. We're gonna keep sharing. We're gonna take the call to action. And when I'm saying I'm talking about me, the person that sees this and receives it, and anyone else, like, I don't know where I was going with that, but just receiving the message. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But I just want to continue to start. Like, the time is now, I feel like. I got my grandmother's shirt on. I'm doing this for Cornelia and Joan, and then my son, Darius Jr. He deserves the world. I want him to see that, okay, my mom was authentic. She lived her authentic life. She pursued everything that made her happy. And I want him to see that, and I want him to do the same thing. So that's all for today. Sending love and light always, and peace and wholeness.